It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by AgileDad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. All right, so today I wanted to talk with you a little bit about something that I've seen happening more and more. It's referring to an article that was brought to my attention called "Most Executives Don't Know What Strategy Is. They Confuse It with Logistics" by Ted Bauer. And what I can tell you is this article really rang true to me, and I applaud where they went with it. The point of the article, after reading it, talks about where people are interviewing executives. And what they're finding with executives is that executives don't know what strategy is, that they understand vision, but strategy is lost to them. And oftentimes, strategy is being confused with logistics or operations or tactics or objectives. And, oftentimes you hear executives say things like, our strategy is to reach $100 million in net revenue. Well, that's not a strategy, right? Or, they'll say things and you'll listen to it and they'll use buzzwords. Achieving $100 million of revenue is not a strategy. Trying to set strategies as a monetary number is just not strategic at all, period. If you start thinking of everything in terms of strategic productivity, then work, it loses relevance. It's not respected. Bad things happen, right? And the truth is, no one really wants to go to work and be productive. They want to do things and they want to achieve things, but especially start thinking about what senior executives do each day at work. People want to go to work to provide value. They don't want to go to work to be productive. They want to know that what they're building makes a difference, that the products or services that they're investing in are really, really making a difference. So if you don't understand that, you're 100% delusional. That's where you need to be. So with that being said, right, how do we get leadership to focus on strategy and understand what it really is? Well, good news. In all of my training classes, Scrum Master and Product Owner, I teach a concept that's called the Agile Press Release. Now, the Agile Press Release is pretty cool because it combines a few different things. It combines a high-level headline with a tagline or an inline that gives you a better descriptor. And then it goes deep. It starts using concepts from Jeffrey Moore's book, Crossing the Chasm. Now, I realize it's a sales book, but it talks about for our target audience who is struggling or suffering from this problem, our product or service is this type of product or service that provides this key benefit or compelling reason to buy it. Unlike a competitor's product or service, ours does this different or better. And if you start really zooming in and thinking of things that way, if you start thinking of things in that perspective, what winds up happening is you see the who, what, where, when, why, and how, which is a strategy, as opposed to just trying to focus on an objective or a logistic, right, of what we're trying to do. And I think that the best place to get this information and the best place to turn people to, if you're trying to get an executive to understand, we have a document called the Agile Leadership Guide. And in this Agile Leadership Playbook, it helps them understand whether they're a director, whether they're a VP, whether they're a C-level executive. It helps them get their head around what it means to have vision and strategy, what they can do as a leader to help make a difference, and how they can help everyone stay focused and on track. And I love these numbers. Now, these stats that came from this article are mind-boggling. I don't know where they specifically came from. I'm going to try to pull it up and see. But it says 95% of companies do not understand a strategy. Wow. 67% of senior vice presidents cannot name the priorities of the CEO. This is just, it blows my mind. But the reason it blows my mind isn't because it's unbelievable. The reason it blows my mind is because, well, it's true. I've been in so many organizations where I try to get alignment up the ladder and understand what people are seeing as their vision and strategy. I try to better understand how people are engaging and how teams have an understanding of what problem their product or service is trying to solve. And I try to get people to focus on behavioral driven design and behavioral driven inputs. And when you focus on things from a behavioral driven perspective, it's going to give you an opportunity to visit and to think through things like story mapping and journey mapping and relational mapping and empathy mapping. And those are the tickets that you're going to have that focus on impact and outcome instead of just output. So don't be delusional, focus on the right things. And I think if you do this, you're going to have a fantastic opportunity to really have real world discussions about strategy with your executive leadership team. That's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have a topic you want us to talk about, make sure you reach out to us. Learn more at agiledad.com. We'd love to talk about your topic or article. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.